Hey everyone and welcome back to another Mobalytics video. Today we're taking a quick look as to why the item HULLBREAKER is suddenly OP and how you can abuse it. So first off, what actually is this item and what does it even do? Well, HULLBREAKER is an AD item primarily picked on top laners and it gives the usual stats like AD and health with a bit of regen too. But it's the passive effect on this item that really gives it its identity. Whilst no allied champions are nearby, you gain bonus resistances and deal 20% bonus damage against structures. Your nearby allied siege and super minions also gain bonus armor and magic resist and also deal 200% bonus damage against structures. This basically means that if you're alone and split pushing, you and your minions will be able to shred down enemy turrets and inhibitors whilst also being much harder to shut down with those extra resistances. So we kind of knew that it was a good item for split pushing, but why is it suddenly so overpowered and why is everybody spamming it? Well, the main reason is just how cost efficient it actually is. When the bruiser itemization got nerfed, people were looking for alternatives and rushing this item emerged as a really strong strategy. It's 116.67% gold efficient with just its base stats with 50 AD and 400 health plus a bit of HP regen. Then with no allied champions nearby, it ranges from 143.81 to 198.1% gold efficiency, which is absolutely absurd, and it does almost make you feel like you're two items over your enemies rather than just one completed HULLBREAKER. Now if it wasn't already efficient enough, then you add the fact that it makes you stomp turrets and makes your cannon minions immortal, and the sheer amount of positives this item gives you just for its cost seem way too high. The emergence of this item also came around to counter those roaming enchanted top laners, but even though that is no longer happening, people are still abusing this item just after realising how strong it is. Another reason as to why HULLBREAKER is so popular in the current meta is because of those TP changes not too long ago. Now you can actually be far more selfish in the top lane. One of the problems prior to the TP nerfs was if the enemy top laner TPs bot and gets their team a triple kill, you probably just slowly lose the game. But since that's not possible until 14 minutes now, building HULLBREAKER and just smashing your opponent in a 1v1 is a lot less punishable. So once you've completed your HULLBREAKER, you'll probably just completely gap the enemy top lane, and on top of that, it's so hard to contest the wave since the cannon minions become super hard to take down. It's particularly painful for some enemy top lane champions like Gragas or Ornn, whereas AD champions do have a little bit of a smoother time. If your enemy top laner decides to roam or if you kill them in a 1v1, you can really abuse that alone time with the added structure damage to sink your teeth into some plates at the very least, especially if you play around your cannon waves. So now we know how it all works, but who do we actually pick HULLBREAKER on? Well, we all know just how oppressive Sion has been with it, and other common culprits like Yorick and Urgot, but you can actually build this on almost any AD champion in the top lane, and that's mostly what people are doing in high elo right now. They are literally rushing this item first. Now some champions won't be able to do this if they are heavily reliant on certain other items, for example Yasuo or Yone, but the majority of other AD champions in the top lane can get away with it just fine. Champions that are seeing some real success apart from those mentioned earlier include Set, Kled, Alawi, Gnar, Trundle, Graves, Akshan, Tryndamere and even Jace, as they can all utilise it really well. The biggest abusers that we've seen already in pro play are Graves, Tryndamere and Jace. You can also build on other picks that aren't picked as often as well, like Renekton, Aatrox and Nasus, and then there's even Fiora, Jax and Camille, but as they tend to prioritise other items first, it isn't quite as effective. Even certain AP champion top laners have been trying to get in on it too, but they also won't be able to pick it up until later on, where it does lose a bit of its effectiveness. Overall though, the best abusers of this item are the champions who don't have a particularly amazing mythic choice, but honestly, it's just a solid option for almost any top laner at the moment. I mean, it was even rushed in the LCK on a Rek'Sai jungle. So that's everything you need to know about HULLBREAKER and why everyone is picking it all of a sudden. Drop us a comment below and let us know which champion you're having the most amount of success with this item. That's all for us here today at Mobalytics, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.